Um,
I go baby rocket, so don't stop. It's under the lights when everything goes. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine, just imagine. I can see what you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel a good, good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. There ain't nobody leaving, so keep dancing.
What's up? It's Jomboy and Jake Radio. It's April Monday 8th. We got a bunch of sports going on. Final Four's finished, and we got a lot to talk about. Jake, how you doing?
Good, James. Happy April 8th, as they say.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, man. The Monday feels. Ooh, this might be an interesting statement. Feels like a regular Monday.
Feels is an interesting word that you just said because that's the theme of the music this week. Feelings.
Like that?
Feelings. Can't Stop That Feeling by Justin Timberlake, one of the all-time great entertainers.
He's a performer. He's a goddamn performer.
Yeah.
Love JT. Yeah, man. Excited.
Oh, I thought you had more on Timberlake there.
No, I was gonna say, as long as there's no Bob Marley tomorrow, I'm excited. And he's got a few I got a feeling songs. So, but hopefully you enjoyed and learned your lesson. Otherwise, it will be a very short podcast for me. It'll be like a 30-second pop.
Diva.
Yeah, we've all got our things. You don't like having a ton of cats in the room with you.
Yes. I don't. Allergic reaction. You're allergic to Bob Marley. You hate Bob Marley.
Bob Marley's one of my favorites, man. Oh, I love Bob Marley. It's one of the first CDs I've ever owned.
Quit Bob Marley if we play him. Your least favorite artist in the known world.
Well, no, on Tuesdays.
Oh, okay.
You're messing with the gods in Middle Earth. How was your freaking, Jim?
Weekend was good. Got a lot done. Had some fun. Yankees won, so that always boosts my mood. Zimmer keeps shitting everywhere, so that's kind of a bummer.
Using the shit pad, the pee pad to poop?
Nah, shit on the couch last night, which is a sign that he just can't really control his body right now.
Right.
So that's a bit frustrating. So I've been up since 6:30 in the morning, but Mondays are a super busy day. So I was excited to be up at 6 and just get a lot of things done. I got it's 9:40 right now, so I've been up for 3 hours and I've gotten so much done. Great feeling when that happens. Hope we don't crash. Yankees have a night game and then we have to record, so it's going to be a long day for me. But I'm excited about it. Weekend was good. I think I had a really good weekend. The weather changed, man. The weather turned over here. We got our first nice weather days. Those are so exciting.
Yeah, I wonder how much of the country got that, because Denver had their first good weather weekend. Like we had some I don't know, you get good days in Denver here and there, but this whole weekend was like 65 to 75 and sunny throughout.
Yeah, that's why I like the changing of the seasons. When I lived in California, where we lived, you would get a couple 70 sunny days in February and January. And then you weren't deprived of the sunshine. And then when it finally turns, it feels so much better. Got to give yourself a little hell to enjoy the happiness. That's why I like all 4 seasons.
It was the best day on our college campus because you could just tell. I mean, the sun would be out and be a nice day. But in Connecticut, it goes gray for months on end, and it's cold and it's nasty. And then that first day, man, everyone would bust out their number one outfit they've been saving from Christmas or whenever they got it over the past recent months. And man, it was just like more vibrant. Like the guys and the girls were both flaunting whatever summer outfit they had ready to go, and everyone was in a good mood because the weather was nice. It was a special day.
I know. Luke called me and he said his campus was like all the guys had their shirts off and people were playing lawn games and they were playing beer die. Central was hilarious. College campuses when it turns 50 are so funny.
Right. I mean, when it's no rules for about one day.
Yeah. And then you're like, all right, it's still not that warm.
Yeah. Okay. And the problem is you do that day. You're so excited that it's going to be 58 and sunny. And you're drinking, and then the next thing you know, it's 6:30 p.m. and the temperature's dropped to 39, and you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna be sick. Yes.
How was your weekend?
It was good, man. You know me. I was doing the Jakey juggle the best I could. We had a pseudo bachelor party out here. Guy who lives here from my kind of OKC crew of friends. He didn't really want a bachelor party. And his guys were like, come on, man. Like, you kind of have to do something, like anything. Like, it doesn't have to be, Vegas mode, but like, we'll get the guys together and do something. So it started off with like, they were like, all right, maybe we'll get a house in the mountains and we'll do some hiking or something, which, again, for what some people picture a bachelor party, pretty tame. I don't know.
It, or did he like, I didn't want to do anything?
What's that?
Did he enjoy it, or was he I didn't want to do anything?
He enjoyed it. I'll say this. This is what I missed, and I think the planning on this happened while I was at spring training, because if it was a hiking weekend, I don't know if I could have went with like the Talking Yank stuff we were going to do.
Uh-huh.
So when I got back from spring training, I didn't check like all the text messages from that group, but it turned into like a Denver event. And what really worked out was it was opening day. So it went from like non-bachelor party, and he is a baseball fan, to opening day. And they had a pretty sweet Airbnb like downtown. So like that Friday, I went downtown to check out opening day. I was only there before the game for a little bit. I didn't get a ticket to the game. It was like $100. I was like, my life is baseball. Went back, got some stuff done, met up with them that night. Not really partied, like, because I mean we're getting up there. So a couple beers went down in the afternoon, so nobody had their fastball later, which was fine. And then we snuck in some golf in the morning, which we played at a really cool course, so that was cool. A lot of animals and stuff on the course, and like cool mountains and stuff. Arrowhead. So shout out to Arrowhead for sponsoring this episode. And Jim, as you let off with yours, Yankees baseball, man, they had a good Yankees weekend, which is always nice.
Does Denver have Arrowhead water out there?
Interesting question. I think so.
It's Poland Springs on the West Coast. Poland Springs on the East Coast is called Arrowhead.
The little red wrapper.
Yeah, but it's the same exact company and brand, just different names. But yeah.
Business.
Arrowhead. Now, if you don't know, now you know. You know what happened? The Colorado Rockies lost, Jake.
Yeah, they lost a lot. The Dodgers kind of kicked their butts this weekend, which, yeah, I mean, is what it is. The opening day effect. We can now evolve that theory a little bit. Opening day effect. If there's a pitcher you like, I actually think that guy who started Friday got sent to the DL. I didn't look into that, but and also the Dodgers are playing great baseball. Bellinger's leading the league in homers. 7
home runs.
Yeah, that's more than 5 teams right now. They're playing really good baseball. So I don't know. Thought that was going to be the early season Rockies were going to get it back on track, because they started with Tampa, and now they got LA. So they're not the start my Rocks needed.
What's your day Friday? We have to do that.
Day Friday was good. I tried to do a little too much in a different world. I probably go to opening day and just enjoy it. They had an Airbnb that was right like in the action, so that was cool. but I was going back and forth a little bit. And then, we went to the quote unquote nice dinner of this was Fogo de Chao. Have you ever been to one of those places? That's when like they bring the meats to the table. It's like a quote unquote Brazilian steakhouse.
Yeah, Brazilian steakhouse. Yeah, I've been to Brazilian steakhouses before. I love that. Flip it red, flip it green.
Yeah, that was my first time. And
really? Yeah, it's awesome.
So I'll say this. I mean, for the bachelor party intentions, A, it works because it's kind of easy. B, it was kind of the end to the night, which, I mean, was a lot. You end up just with a lot of salty meat in your stomach, but that's how all my bachelor parties end.
Ooh.
And, okay. But no, I'll say this. I love the first 15 minutes of Fogo de Chao, and then the last 15, 20, it was just kind of like, yeah, you're just like more meat. You're kind of getting stuffed. And the problem was I would have loved Fogo de Chao if there was one like ringer. Because I sampled everything because that's what I am. None of them stepped out and I was like, that's my favorite. Like, let me get another bite of that. So I love the ease and just the yes or no Caesar's thumb when the meat comes by. Day as a whole, got to see some friends. Opening day, some good vibes. It was a 6.5.
Wow, 6.5.
Yeah.
That means last week, your average didn't change at all. What about that?
You like that?
Average stayed exactly the same. Didn't affect you. You had a good week last week.
Had a good week, man. Yanks started winning.
Yeah, I can't remember Friday. The Yankees didn't have a game.
Right.
Do you remember?
You got lunch. You got sushi lunch with Katie.
Oh yeah, I went to sushi lunch with Katie. That was nice. I love sushi. Then I got dinner at Crab's Claw with my parents. Crazy news happened. That Culpa video kept going viral. Hit 1 million views.
Right. Congrats.
That's nuts, huh?
Hit the 1 million club.
I wonder what it's at now. I don't even know. But yeah, I think that's got to be my most watched piece of content ever. It was the dog video, which is a different kind of comment.
Got to update the resume.
Opa breakdown. Yeah, and then I broke down a fight yesterday, and that's got like 50,000. I don't know. Twitter's weird. Twitter's been fun. I got to start doing breakdowns more. People like that.
All right. Well, thanks for sitting down with us, Jomboy. We've seen a few of your things online. We really like what you're doing. Just kind of one of the questions we ask people when they come in here. What are your your top 2 videos? What's your kind of top 2 most viewed content?
Breaking down an umpire, being a dick, and scaring my mom with a fake dog.
Excuse me, sir. So that's fun.
1.18 million now on that. That's cool. But I don't really remember anything else from Friday, so I'm just going to go, what's my average day? A 5? Well, actually, that's what I said my average day was. My average day is actually a 5.6. So I'm going to go 5.5.
Nice.
Here we go. One of these days, this spreadsheet's going to look wild. All we've really determined is that Tuesdays suck for you. Sometimes for real, sometimes you just say it.
Do I have to smash my nose in every Tuesday morning?
No, but you have had 2 incidents that have happened on Tuesdays, which is odd.
It's not.
Other times, I think you just wake up defeated. You just like, gonna be like you don't actively try to.
I mean, I've given you the Tuesday spiel. It's Monday is necessary, and Monday gets a bad rap. Tuesday's the bottom.
But you don't work an office job anymore, so it's a little different. Like you're not a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 anymore.
A little bit. I mean, Sunday's an interesting day now. Sunday's like half intense work day. Actually, it's like full intense work day.
Sunday's my busiest day.
Yeah. Yeah, Sunday's my busiest day too. I don't know. It's the world, Jim. It's the world.
Sunday, Monday are my 2 busiest days of the week.
Yeah.
By in a landslide. All right, let's go to sports. Let's see what's going on in the sports world. The Yankees go home run crazy and sweep the Orioles. They hit 7 home runs on Sunday and had 4 players with multi-homer games this series. Judge, Gary, Glaber, Clint all went Yabo twice in one game. The Mets beat the Nationals 6-5 on Saturday. Familia did his best. He blew to lose the game. He blew the lead in the 8th, only to have Alonso and Cano slap solo home runs to tie it. Then Broxton drove in the go-ahead run. On Sunday, they lost 12-9. Zach Wheeler got blowed up. The Knicks lost to the Rockets, then beat the Wizards. Mario Hezonja has been going off, dropped 30 on Sunday, and the Knicks are still in last place. The Nets beat the Bucks, and then the Pacers, 2-win weekend. They are currently the 6th seed in the East. I didn't check the hockey because I'm not going to check it until the playoffs start, and the Islanders have a series. And I don't believe there's any Jets or Giants news of note.
Yeah, Jim, I think
I
think I want to hit the hockey quick just because I think the playoff schedule is set.
Is it? That's cool. What is it? When do they?
Yes. So the Islanders are playing the Penguins Wednesday, 7:30. And yeah, it's looking out here looking like a fish. Let's see. We've got
When does it start?
The first games are Wednesday. So we got Wednesday games and we got Thursday games. Just around the horn. Blue Jackets, Lightning, Blues, Jets, Golden Knights, Sharks, Hurricanes, Caps, Avalanche, Flames, Maple Leafs, Bruins, Stars, Preds, Penguins, Islanders.
Nice. So
yeah,
you rooting for a team?
I mean, I'll give the Islanders some love. We've started to get more into that Long Island market, and Long Island's one of my favorite places just because of the sod farms and booze. I hate to do this, Jim, because I normally don't want to be this guy in sports. I'll say this. The only thing I'm kind of rooting for is not the Bruins. I just can't see the duck boats come out again.
All right, there you go. I used to be a Sharks fan for like 5 seasons. I watched majority of Sharks games. I haven't watched in probably 5 years. But maybe I'll put on my playoff only Sharks fan.
Yeah, we might have to maybe we jump into this Islanders thing because I really do. It's one of my least I was gonna say one of my least favorite things about myself.
I'm not jumping on the Islanders bandwagon.
How long do we have? No, I love watching playoff hockey, and it's something that makes me mad every year because I always say like, Jake, if you like playoff hockey, you must like regular season hockey a little more. But it's like I kind of don't like that extra notch that comes with playoff hockey. Like just gets me fully locked in. So we should watch some games. We get some Islanders bids going.
We'll see. I mean, first round too. There's always fights. It's always intense. First round of playoff hockey is great.
Yeah.
Be more tuned in. This year. Pete Alonso, I should say, has had a hell of a start to his season, Jake.
Yes, sir.
To his career. This is his rookie season, right?
Yeah.
You know his numbers? He's hitting .382 with a 432 on base percentage and a 1.256 OPS. Small sample size, of course. That's the only sample size we have to go off, though. And he's got 3 home runs, 6 doubles, 11 RBIs. It's crazy. It's fun for Mets fans to have this guy come up and go on a tear.
Yeah, and Jim, I think it's funny. This is my first time looking at the Mets stat page. Cano actually not off to a great start, but I've seen 2 Robinson Cano highlights because he's got that pretty swing. Yeah, man, Alonso off to a hot start. J.D. Davis, our guy. Conforto, McNeil, Dominic Smith. We talk about the Yankees' first base competition being fun. Dom Smith and Alonso are hitting. So good for Los Mets. They're 6-3 now. And I mean, it looks fun. You know, they've got guys that when they come to the plate, you're excited to see what they do. So that's good. It's an entertaining product, at least. We're not sure if how long the winning will hold up, which I think they could ride it out through the season.
They
But
have
yeah,
they have the Mets currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players with an OPS of 8 or higher. I want to see
Yeah.
what the Yankees have in comparison. Do you think the Yankees have more or less? What would your guess be?
How many did you say?
5, 8 or higher.
I'm seeing 6 on the Mets.
Is there someone that doesn't have a lot of at bats?
I guess okay. What's our minimum plate appearances here? Because like Dominic Smith has 12 plate appearances, so that's not
Yeah,
enough.
I don't think that counts.
Okay. I'll do starts with an 8 or up. I'm gonna say more. I'll say the Yankees have 6.
Yeah, Smith was not on my thing. Baseball
Gotcha.
Reference just cancels him out because of that. So the Yankees have
Eliminated.
4. Gleyber Torres, Gary Sanchez, DJ LeMahieu, and Aaron Judge. Mets have
Nice.
5.
None of the first baseman both dropped out of the OPS game.
Yep, they're both. Voit is at 721 and Bird is at 710.
Ooh, does Clint Frazier count?
No, he can't have enough at bats. He got like 6 at bats.
It says he's got 17 at bats now.
It doesn't count on Baseball Reference, so I don't know what their limit is.
All right.
Hide non-qualifiers for rate stats. If you do that, you get Gio Urshela as well. And
Well, he's got
and Austin Romine and Tulo and Stanton.
Well, he's at 7 plate appearances. I didn't know. I didn't know where we're drawing the line.
I was Baseball Reference's line, so I don't know where they're drawing it. Anyway,
All right.
Are you more excited for first round of NHL playoffs or first round of NBA playoffs?
Ooh, interesting.
They're polar opposite. The NHL, you can have an 8 seed beat a 1 seed, and you can have so many fights and aggressiveness. How many of these first round NBA series are going to be series?
Jim, I think that's where you'd be surprised. I think normally you're right. I think this year people are really excited. I think whoever both 1-8 seeds, I think those are going to be ugly matchups. The other games, man, are going to play. You've got in the Western Conference, the Nuggets are going to be the 2 seed, and it's looking like right now the bottom of the Western Conference is still shuffling. Same with the East. But I mean, you could have these inexperienced Nuggets playing a team like OKC, who's done the playoffs multiple times, and Paul George and Russ could easily be the 2 best players on the court in a given series. The Spurs are going to be in it. They're not as talented, but they got pops and they play a good game and they're experienced. So I think this year should be a really fun NBA playoffs. Even in the East, man, I think the Bucks are going to kill whoever the 8 seed is. The Raptors, I mean, have that Raptor, I don't know if connotations is the right word, or what they've done in the past. Just nobody believes in the Raptors, even though they have Kawhi now. And then, I mean, the Celtics are hot and cold. The Sixers, can they put it together for a series? Your Nets, Jimmy, are they going to get the 6 seed? So I don't know. I'm pretty high on what this NBA playoff can be. I'm sure a couple series will go more south than we expect, but I bet you could say that about a couple of the hockey series too. So,
Yeah, I guess so. All right, let's do. Kind of went into national news.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy, national news. How about we keep it baseball for a little bit? How about we do a little AL East notes? How about your Boston Red Sox? Brock Holt going to the IL because his kid scratched him in the eye. Thoughts and prayers, Brock. And if you see an Orioles game on TV, throw it on. We just watched a lot of Orioles. They do some entertaining stuff. And, hey, they also might give up a lot of home runs to your team. Go check that out. We mentioned the NBA. The Warriors clinched the West. I mean, such a yawn, even though it wasn't a lock the whole season. Jim, your Baylor women walk away with the national title. We did it. We landed on the moon. They beat Notre Dame 82-81. Missed free throw at the end of the game. Speaking of free throws at the end of the game, Virginia beats Auburn. We got some controversial fouls and no call. We'll talk about that. Texas Tech, guns up, shoot 'em dead. I forget what their logo is. They're going to the finals. I mean, Texas Tech versus Virginia could be a terrible game. Hopefully it's great. Antonio Brown, Juju are beefing. Jimmy, this Auburn gymnast vid you posted on there, I'm scared to click it. It says she broke both of her legs while performing. And the AFL, RIP, I just killed the club. The AFL has folded.
A lot going on your weekend update.
Yeah, a lot of sports. Final Four weekend.
Virginia versus Texas Tech. What everyone guessed it would be.
That's what everyone had in their brackets.
Pretty wild, huh? Good for the South. Tough look for the Midwest. All those basketball teams.
Yeah, I mean this Virginia Tech, Buzz Williams, he already took another job. The Texas Tech coach, man, what he's doing for that program, he's going to get a big job. UCLA is still on the hunt for a head coach. They were interviewing Rick Barnes from Tennessee, who they had a good year, and he's run a big program before. But man, this Tech coach is going to get hooked up at some point, whether it's this year or next year. I don't know, man. I mean, the Virginia story should be a lot cooler, right? Like going from the biggest disappointment in a tournament ever to potential champion the next year. Like, shouldn't that excite me more?
I don't know. You're not a Virginia fan, so why do you care?
Right, but we like good stories. And I mean, if you just said that storyline and the bottoming out, you'd think that'd be more appealing. But it's just not.
Put it together. Like the same kids that lost last year.
Yes, to the 16 seed.
If the same kids now win it, yeah, that's an awesome story. There's going to be an awesome montage of like the triumphs and defeats of sports in one calendar year, bookend of the calendar year, defeat and triumph. Now I'm rooting for Virginia. Now you've got me. I'm rooting for.
There you go. I guess I'm excited. I'm excited for the montage if it happens, just not the actual game.
I'm really not excited for this game either.
Give me them being sad and then they flip it around and being happy.
Did you watch the Virginia Auburn game? Did you see the
I did.
no call and the call?
So I texted one of our group chats, the Northeastern chat, because they were hardcore talking about the game while it was going on. The texts are coming in, blah blah. Is that a foul? Blah. I was with my girlfriend and one of her friends had came over. They were about to go out somewhere and they were just watching the final minutes. And I'm just kind of mumbling to myself. They were talking, but like half tuning in. And so the guy dribbled it off his foot and then he started dribble again. And I'm just talking to Noodle and no one in particular. I was like, that's a double dribble. I don't know a lot about basketball. That's a double dribble. And both girls kind of looked over and were like, all right, whatever. Don't care. Jake's just talking to himself. And then 2 minutes later, after the game ended, was the first time they showed the replay, and they were like, yeah, and I know people are talking about this call, a potential missed double dribble. And the girls looked at me and were impressed, and I was like, hey, all right, I'm cool. I know what I'm doing.
Well, he picked it up with both hands after it hit his foot, too.
Yeah, and I don't know what the ref saw there. So, I mean, that's a real bummer if you're Tech. The shooting foul call, like everyone wanted to be mad, but it was a foul.
So you can't put your feet underneath his feet where he's going to land, right?
Yeah, and he makes contact a little bit. I mean, guy was swinging his leg, but not in a significant way. That is a foul. Any team in the world would want that, and I think if you took a poll, I mean, you'd get 80%. That's a foul. I think now that I relived it, Jim. Because at first I wanted to be, nobody was, I shouldn't say mad, but yeah, nobody was mad at the kid that fouled them because they were like, whoa, close call, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, it was a foul, which means it's a really bad play by that kid. But at the same time, I was thinking, man, if you're that kid, you are damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like if you don't give like your best attempt and he makes the shot, everyone looks at you and is like, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got to challenge that. It's to go to the finals." And I mean, if he just makes it, you're done. But tough. Auburn was fun with Bruce Pearl sweating away on the sideline. And that would have been like 2 football schools going at it. But yeah.
I still think it's a good foul because it wasn't like blatant. Like it very much could have been missed by the ref.
Right.
And you still put that guy, whose name is Guy, on the line, and he's got to make 3 shots with 0.6 seconds left. So I don't know, like, to crush that kid, I don't know if anyone is, but I don't think you can crush that kid that much. You got to tip your hat to Guy who made all 3 shots. Those are clutch free throws in the game. That's as clutch as it gets.
The first one. First one's the money one. You got to get that. And he did.
Crazy.
He looked good. I don't love Kyle Guy.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have an opinion on him. I just know he made some clutch free throws, so that's good.
I want to like him more. I feel like he's going to be on the Spurs for a decade and just be good.
Oh, nice. Good for him then.
Yeah, good for you, Kyle Guy. Congratulations. You Jeff's been drafted.
And then in comparison, the Michigan Tech games kind of blow.
Yeah, that didn't do much for me. I mean, I was mostly watching Yankees. I gave a couple flips, but yeah, I mean, Jim, they're like the 2 best defensive teams in the country, which is funny with, I mean, everything going 3-point shot and everyone's trying to have that Steph Curry range. And here we are, college national championship game. I think the over-under is like 113, Jim. So we could be in for a pretty tough game. I don't know. I'm in the back of my head, I'm trying to convince myself that I'm trying to think. No, like when 2 huge offenses meet, usually in the NFL season, we did have that great Chiefs-Rams game last year. But, we had like it was the Saints-Cowboys, and everyone was like, oh, this is going to be a fun game. This is going to be a shootout. And the Cowboys held them to like 3 points or something. I'm hoping for a little bit of that effect tonight, that everyone's like, oh, this is going to be a great defensive game, and then it'll be the 4th quarter, and it's 72-75 late. But I think that's just me dreaming.
That's just you dreaming. We'll see. We got the Masters coming up.
Huge week, Jim. Huge week.
This Thursday? What?
Masters start Thursday. It's one of the coolest events in sports. And, Jim, I mean, this Sunday is going to be, well, recording Talking Yanks and watching the Yanks, but Game of Thrones comes back. It's just like a big week for the world.
Wow. What's the Yankees schedule? How does that Yankees tie in with Thrones Week? I'm going to check that out right now.
We did this a while back. It worked out decently.
I think found the video of the gymnastics girl. I haven't watched it yet, but it says she broke both legs. Yankees play a 105 game. That's great for Thrones. We're done with everything.
Yep.
Should I watch this video and give you guys my reaction, my play-by-play of the girl broke her legs?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch it.
All right, I'll watch it for you. Okay. Samantha Serio from Huntsville, North Carolina, stands at 5 foot flat. Starts her routine in the corner. She's running. Front cartwheel. Oh! Whoa! Oh, yeah, it's bad. Don't watch it, Jake. Oh, my God. She spikes both her legs, and underneath her knees, they just break. She, goes to land a front flip, But she hits her legs early, and her top momentum's going forward, and she just snaps both legs. Whoa. I was expecting it not to be that bad, but I don't really like that stuff that much.
Right.
Wow. Simultaneously, both legs. Boom. Crazy. Ooh.
It's a bad feeling.
It's a bad feeling. Okay. Do we have anything else from the national update? Warriors win the West. Antonio Brown called out Juju Smith. Antonio Brown sucks, and I don't even want to talk about him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's just move on then and call it quits. Nice. Halftime. Ooh, that like woke me up. That was a jolt of coffee watching the girl break both her legs.
Yeah, you let out a big old yell there.
It's just how it happened. Crazy.
I want to say old Blackhawks coach Joe. Is it Quenville? He got hired by Florida Panthers. I have to go to the bathroom real bad. You want to talk to yourself for a minute?
Okay. But
Or you get the snaps going. I'm still going to be able to hear you, so I'm kind of interested.
What are you doing? Because the listeners can hear you that are live right now. Remember that.
Oh, they wish they could hear me.
You going to mute your mic? Jake muted his mic, and he's off to the bathroom. Why did Jake want to talk about Joe Quenville? Oh, he's that hockey coach who's got a mustache and looks kind of like just an angry old man all the time. So that's good. What else do we got coming up? Should I just do the news without Jake? No, we'll just talk. Jordan's in the chat. Anyone want to say anything? Woke up to shit on the ground today. Zimmer, shit on the ground. Pretty frustrating, pretty annoying. I have a phone call coming up later today. Actually, it can happen at any time, which is crazy. I have a pretty big phone call that's awesome, but a time was not given to me, so I don't know when he's going to call. So I turned my phone onto ring mode for the first time ever because my phone never, ever makes noise. That's annoying. But I have a call coming anytime. So Jake and I are recording this. We're recording so many things, and I just got to wait for a phone call at any time.
It's going to be fun when that call comes in.
Yeah. Oh, shit, here it is. And then
it would almost be, now that you've said that, it would be pretty fun if it came through in the second half of the show.
Yeah, I hope not. I'm nervous.
I had a classic almost lost my cell phone scare this weekend, which, I mean, almost made me, I was so sad for a minute, Jim.
I thought my phone broke at one point.
Okay.
I haven't lost it in a while because I've gotten really good at that because I need it. But I thought my phone like malfunctioned and broke at one point, and I was like, fuck, like this. I actually don't use my phone that much anymore because I'm always by my computer. But there's certain things that you have to do on the phone, like Instagram.
Right.
I have to run the Instagram account on my phone. So yeah, it's scary. How'd you almost lose it? Where'd you find it?
It was golfing, and so I was timing everything up. I was doing the Jakey juggle, but I was like, all right, the round of golf should end. The lineup should come out right after that. They had Wi-Fi at the course. I was going to do the pregame show there. But I had my phone on me just in case anything came through. I was going to have to be like, if it was on the 16th hole, be like, guys, I got to drive back. I'll see you at the clubhouse in a little bit. So it was like, I want to say we're on like the 11th or 12th hole, and I go to look for my phone and it's not there. And I had my phone, like I was doing the phone game. Like I'd either put it on the seat or I put it in the golf cart, one time in the cup holder. So I knew I'd put it in the cup holder, and I go and look and it's not there. And I'm like, Jake, you idiot. Like it must have bounced out. Who knows? It could be anywhere on the course now. You're the dumbest person in the world. You're the dumbest person in the world. And like when I was playing with a couple guys that they were being silly with me. And so one of them comes over to talk about something silly, and he sees the look on my face, and he's like, you know what? I'll catch up with you in a minute. This looks like a bad time. And then one of the guys, the other guys we were playing with, he goes, yeah, I was wondering why you put your phone in our cup holder. So I had put my phone in their cup holder, confusing the carts. So still walked away hating myself, but had my phone.
So I've trained the devil in my brain.
Right.
So like if I was to put my phone in a cup holder, I've trained the devil to instantly say, why are you doing that? Don't do that.
Nice.
Because I didn't have that in my brain for a long time.
Shouldn't the angel be saying that?
No, because he's a mean person. He's like, you dumbass, why would you put your phone there, you dumb piece of shit?
Okay. Your devil bullies you then.
Yeah, and the angel's like, it's okay. You wouldn't have lost it.
Wow, so in this situation, the angel's the bad guy.
Yeah. You need a little anger. That's what we say about Boone and Girardi.
Wow.
You need a little accountability in your life.
Whoa. That's pretty heavy stuff.
But I go to put my wallet or my phone down in places, and I'm like, will I remember that I put it here? Absolutely not. Okay, not going to go do that.
Man, that was really important.
That you
Me,
found
me
it?
and me and my buddy were joking this weekend that like our brains aren't wired right, and that we have like devil on one shoulder and like just kind of like a good devil on the other shoulder. Like, go out and have some fun, but just like be cool about it, man. Like, never got the full angel on the shoulder.
I read the news today, oh boy, and though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh.
Well, it's 6 o'clock. Time for the news.
University of Kansas is offering Angry White Male Studies this fall, a class where you go learn about angry white males, I think, or maybe is it a class to help angry white males be less angry? One of them I like, one of them I don't. Maybe I like both. A school district removes doors on the bathroom stalls so girls are forced to bring blankets in there for privacy. I don't understand how that's legal. An Irish village is complaining that the men and the dogs have been walking around with hard-ons thanks to the Viagra plant, which is releasing fumes into their town. A suspected rhino poacher was killed by an elephant, then eaten by lions in South Africa. Tough break. A man who has spent more than 40 years collecting 9,300 beer cans has had to get rid of the bulk of them so he can buy a smaller house. And a baseball field was flooded in Ridgefield, Connecticut, so they poured gasoline on it, then lit it on fire in hopes that would help it dry faster. Instead, they just simply started a fire.
I read the news today, oh boy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
How about that? Well, you want to go first? I think I got something on all of them. Usually there's a couple I put on here and then we never talk about them at all.
Okay. Where do you want to go?
Let's just go down the list then. The University of Kansas is offering Angry White Male Studies class this fall. Now, Jake, there's two scenarios in my head. Is this a class for feminists and they're just talking about the angry white males in history and the problems that they can cause in the world and why men are angry? Or is this a class where you say, are you an angry white male? Let's try to have a little therapy and find out why you're angry. Which one do you think it is? I thought it was the latter at first, and now I am for certain it's the former, where it's a bunch of feminists talking about how a bunch of men suck.
Yeah, I think the article doesn't say much, but it does say it's 3 credit hours, and they examine the source of the emotional state while evaluating recent manifestations of male anger. I hate to go, I don't dance with the white, well, I don't dance now. I make money moves. Why isn't this just angry male studies?
Well, I don't know. Because white males
genuine, maybe as a dumb, angry white male. Why I don't get why it's white male.
Well, because that's the problem right now. It's all the recent terrible things that are happen
right.
from angry white men.
Right. I don't know. I think that's kind of the twist on the feminist part of the story, though. Like it shouldn't necessarily be, but I don't know. I mean, knock your socks off.
White male privilege, I guess. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
this is where I was I took a lot of sociology classes, and I actually love sociology now, but it's half common sense and half bullshit.
Right.
Like half the things they tell you in sociology classes is just like, okay, yeah. So like I would guess the common sense part would be white men had power for so long and generations have passed down to their son and their son and their son. This dumb patriarch, old white men have power mindset. And now it's a world that's stripping white men of their power, rightfully so. Everyone should have equal power. So there's kids that are lashing out. That would be what I would think the common sense part is like. So people are being raised to say they're the best and they're in charge and, white male. And the world is kind of like, actually, no, that's pretty rude. So they act out.
Look for common themes and all that stuff. I mean, I kind of get it. All I picture is that meme of the that nerdy kid at like the high school cafeteria with all the veins popping out of his neck. Like he just had one of his Pokemon cards stolen or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
No. Which one? Oh, the guy that's sitting in class. That's like just
yes.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. You know why there are so many?
If that's on the opening day slide, I'm a fan of the class.
Oh yeah, it should be on. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Do you know the theory on why there are so many serial killers in the 70s and the 80s?
No.
It's kind of interesting because those decades, serial killers just went up, and sociologists will say that it may. I don't know if they can't say like this is it, but their theory is that there were so many men who went to the Korean War or World War II or Vietnam in the 60s and then had PTSD and were absentee fathers. So there was a lot of white men who had really angry, temperamental PTSD fathers at home. And it was all this suppressed rage and anger just in the household, just bubbling.
Interesting
theory, right?
Yeah.
I like that stuff, but it's a little heavy for Jomboy Nick Radio. School district removes bathroom stalls and are forcing girls to bring blankets. Why? What had to happen for them to remove bathroom stalls? If there was like a bunch of suicides, then I'm fine with it. I think that's all. Oh,
I think you went a step too far. I'm thinking drugs and stuff.
No, it's shootings.
A
student allegedly wrote a note in the bathroom threatening a school shooting. So they just kept writing on the bathroom doors. So they removed the doors. People can still write on walls. That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's pretty. Beardstown School District. Yeah, just comes off as dumb to me currently.
It makes no. They wrote that there's going to be a shooting. I'm not for writing that there's going to be. Don't ever go write up. I'm going to shoot the school in the bathroom door. Okay, but someone at this middle school has to go write that on the wall. So the principal or superintendent says, "Oh, I guess they can still just write it on the wall. Why don't we put the door back up?"
Yeah, and now there's like only one private restroom, so the girls are waiting for that, or they're bringing blankets, which basically you now made a non-story a massive story.
Because you're a dumb idiot. Really stupid. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
You just paint over the door and you try to catch whoever it is. Like, yeah, come on, standard high school protocol here.
It's you have teachers who recognize the handwriting of all your students. Just go pass it around. What student was this? Handwriting forensics is so fun.
Yes.
How about this town in Ireland that says the Viagra plant is putting their fumes all into the town? The men and dogs are just rocking boners all over.
I mean, it's the dream.
For who? This is not a dream for me.
For the dogs.
Oh, dogs, yeah.
For the dogs.
If I was living in this town and I just was erect nonstop, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We need to know the depth of the problem here. I mean, if it was that, like, you go out to get a coffee and bagel and you're getting wooded up, I mean, that's a nightmare.
Speaking to the Sunday Times, local bartender barmaid Debbie O'Grady said, "One whiff and you're stiff. We've been getting the love fumes for years now for free." She's a poet. She's writing Hallmark cards. That should be Viagra should now make a smelling, like put it in a spray, and it should say, "One whiff and you're stiff."
Oh man, put it in a candle?
Yeah.
Bunch of old couples with their creepy sex candle. That's
fun.
Wow.
They say it is a blessing for the older men in town. That's cool.
Yeah. This is a retirement community.
You find out your 70-year-old husband's driving through, what's this town called?
Ringskiddy
in Cork County. You're like, why were you in Ringskiddy? What were you doing there? Like,
Oh, see, I've got it differently. I think it's one of those things like you're 8 years old and you're like, wow, it's pretty cool that my grandparents live in Ireland. Then you turn 18 and you're like, it's so gross that my grandparents decided to retire in Ringskitty, Ireland.
I will say the dogs walking around. This lady says that the dogs walk around in a state of sexual excitement. Why are so many dogs just walking around this village?
It's a little scary.
And then imagine being in a town and it's just a bunch of horned up dogs. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. The dogs will hump anything. They'll hump the chair if they're horny. Sure. Man. What is working at a Viagra plant then mean? Is everyone that works at a Viagra plant just stiff as a rock nonstop? That's kind of cool. You just have meetings and everyone's like got a boner and you just accept it.
Well, see, now you're coming around on it. I don't know. I need to know. This is a severity of the situation. If it's a what was the phrase? A one whiff and sniff?
One whiff and you're stiff.
One whiff and you're stiff, my lad. Yeah, good for Ireland.
All right. How about this rhino poacher? The elephants killed him, and then he got eaten by lions. A lot of people are saying, like, good. Finally, one of these poachers died. That dude does have, like, friends and family, and there are people who think poaching's fine. That's the game you play, though, right?
Yeah. If that's the world you want to live in, this comes with it.
You go hunt animals, they're allowed to hunt you back. Right? Like,
ooh, yeah, man. This is well, Jimmy, I know you mentioned the family and stuff, but it's also the situation you put yourself in. Like, what they think happened was he was with a group of poachers knowing they were doing a bad thing, and then he got killed and whatever happened by an elephant or whatever, and the other poachers just dragged his body to the road to let someone else find him because the poachers didn't want to get in trouble for poaching. So if you know you're living that lifestyle.
Yeah. So bad guys all around. So
yeah.
That's the game you play. That's the game you play. This guy collected 9,300 beer cans and now is selling them to buy a house. Feel a little bad for him. I have a collector. Oh shit! Look at the picture, Jake. That's badass. I feel bad now. If you collect things in a neat way, you can't be a hoarder. This dude's got shelves.
Ooh, it was hyper organized.
He's got shelves in his house with beer cans all over.
It looks like a beer can library.
Yeah, it's a beer can library. It's very organized. It's very neat. I like my sister Courtney hates like collecting things or clutter, but if you do it in a cool way, I'm all for it. And this was
so yeah, Jim. They depicted this poorly. This essentially was like a museum. Like he would buy cans. Like he had like one of the original Heineken cans from like 1936. He was like buying hundreds of different cans a year. It was a collector. It's not like they were depicting this story like it was a college frat house where it's like, all right, let's see how many bottles of vodka we've drank in this year.
Remember when we did that? And we were trying every kind of whiskey when we were playing whiskey foosball.
Yeah.
And we had them on the mantle and we had different names for all of them. And then our roommate just threw them all away. And we were like, dude, we've been collecting those for a while now.
We're keeping track of that.
We cleaned them out and then put them on the mantle.
And then he had the ultimate comeback because he was like, the empty whiskey bottles? We're like, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
Like, I thought that was just garbage. And I was like, they were like cleaned and organized on the mantle, though.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also, come on, man.
Come on, man. Be cool. Be cool. I collected when energy drinks in 2005, 2006 just blew up.
Sure.
There was like a new brand every day. Me and David and Brad, and then we would try a new kind. And I had a kitchen in my bedroom because I lived in a pair suite when I was in California, and we had a collection of energy drink cans. And it was interesting to see the different ones and then remember what we drank. But eventually, it was like, okay, I'll throw these out.
Yeah, you hit a point.
Yeah. And then in Ridgefield, Connecticut, the only reason this one's funny is because it's we're Connecticut kids, and Ridgefield's a really rich, nice town.
Yeah.
But I guess someone had a brain full of marbles. The field was wet. I don't even understand this. So in an attempt to dry the field, they poured gasoline on it and then lit it on fire. You like oil and water. I mean, there's just so many things that you should know to know that this isn't going to work.
And yeah, I mean, there's careers. People make careers. There's college majors out of like grass maintenance, lawn maintenance, things like that. I mean, it's usually a lot of people that go into like golf course maintenance and running the golf course, and it's knowing what happens. Yeah, it looks like it was the Ridgefield Police Department. They
The
took
police
a chance.
department did this?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't just.
No. Excuse me. It said a poor decision was made, and then it said by the RPD, but it was being looked into by the RPD.
Yeah, because I think this has to be a baseball coach that's dumb as shit and coaching a baseball team who wants to play. Can't have another rain out. We gotta dry this motherfucker.
Yeah, I know what we'll do. Yeah, that's really dumb. Jim, could we be ruling out a rival town sabotage?
That's awesome. That's an awesome call, Jake. I hope it was. It's a really nice field. Wow. It's I mean, Ridgefield's a super rich town, so it makes sense, Jake. But it's got like huge netting. It's got a grass infield. It's got brick dugouts and stands behind home plate. This wasn't just like a rinky-dink field behind a church. Like, this did some damage to a really nice. And now I'm scrolling through Google Maps of Ridgefield, Connecticut, and it's so lush and green, and I'm getting upset. I love the scenery in Connecticut, man.
Newtown suspect, Jim. That's all I'm saying.
You think Newtown did this?
I'm saying they're a suspect. Couple good teams from that part of the state with good baseball programs.
I think foul play was involved because I hope there's not a human that's dumb enough to think lighting a field on fire will dry it and make it playable within. Like, I mean, he thought this was going to happen in what? The biggest window I can imagine is 3 hours. Like, they wanted to get a game in 3 hours in the future, so he lit the field on fire. And if there's someone dumb enough that thinks that's going to work, that's really upsetting. So I'm with you. I think it was sabotage.
Yeah, man. This is where the high school team plays. So I think we've got some serious guerrilla CT high school warfare going on here.
You know, for 3 years in a row, I went to Ridgefield High School on the first day of classes, which was just freshmen. And I walked around with a camera and filmed it.
This was after you were out of high school. This was after college, right?
After college. It was like 20.
Yes.
20.
So the way you
3 years
for
old.
anyone else that doesn't know your video and audio editing history, that came across as super weird.
It was super weird. It was a videography job that my company got, and I got sent to do it. And I had free reign to just walk around, and I would just like take shots of all of them getting off the bus. And then I would take shots of the kids struggling to open their lockers. And I was basically just, spying. And then I would walk into classrooms and film kids sitting in class. It was very, very creepy.
Yeah, you were assembling a montage for Ridgefield. Before, it sounded like you would leave your high school classes to go to Ridgefield to videotape their first day.
It was bizarre. It was very creepy. And then I'd go to the office and I'd edit together a video really, really quick, like a 20-minute video documentary of what they did on their first day. And then I'd drive back to Ridgefield and give it to them. And the parents would come that night and they'd say, "This is what your kids did in school today." And they paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
Weird shit happens. But that was pretty creepy. Because 14-year-old girls dress, Jake, they don't dress how you think 14-year-old girls should dress.
Oh, dude.
Especially on the first day of school when they're going, all out.
I forget. I don't think we JJR'd yet. We went to this Florida town for my girlfriend's dad's 70th birthday, and a couple. It's technically her niece, but they're like cousins in age, you'd think. But she's like 15, 16, and dude, they were dressing like you see people on Instagram, and I felt uncomfortable at certain points.
Now imagine you were holding up a video camera filming them.
I wish I was. That would have, at least they would have known that it's like if you're holding the camera and you're looking over there, it's like, okay, he's filming something for the school. You can say that. I'm scared to look at these girls. I'm at my girlfriend's dad's birthday.
Yeah. And if anyone that listens to us went to Ridgefield High School, your hallways are the most confusing high school hallways I've ever been in.
Wow.
So confusing. Pomperog was easy, just a square.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Let's go to bed of the day.
Bet of the day, it's the bet of the day. Bet of the day, bet of the day.
Bet of the day, bet of the day. Jakey went 4-1 last week. He had a chance to make his record into that of a winning record, but he lost on Friday, so he's 30-31. I am now 25-36. I did not want to take the Rockies, but the power of opening day and Jake swayed me because there was no way they were winning that game. So, What do we have today?
Man, it's the national championship game. Be a fool to ignore that.
I almost want an apology because you forced my hand last week. I know I don't.
It was kind of your theory,
but I said there's no way the theory holds up.
Well, I had to know. I had to find out, because if that theory did hold, I mean, we'd have, we could bring that to the forums. The theory didn't hold up.
If it's a close matchup, the power of opening day's there, but that was so lopsided.
Well, hey, Dodgers did their thing. Man, I think it's interesting. Right now, it's a 1-point spread in the national championship game. Like, my heart wants to go with Tech, but I think Virginia wins this game. Like, this just seems like what their program needs. I'm a storyline. I just laid out the storyline for you. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to go for this over-under because that could be fun/ugly. It's up to 118. Jimmy, I'm just going to take Virginia.
Is Virginia's favored by 1?
Yeah. I think you have to take them. They're the 1 seed. They do have the better story. Texas Tech is a nice run, but if Virginia goes from the team that lost to the 16 seed to the national championship, there's your story of the season. They're a strong basketball program. Tony Bennett's staying there. We're going to look back in a couple years, like in 10 years from now, we're going to be like, wow, Texas Tech made the final. It was like, yeah, it was the last year that guy was their head coach. Then he went to UCLA or somewhere else, and then Texas Tech fell off.
So
UVA.
It's just a straight pick 'em.
Basically, unless Virginia wins by 1, then it would be a push. Yeah. We haven't had a push here yet.
Jordan's in the chat right now. Should I agree or disagree with Jake? See if you can answer in the next 5 seconds. Because the Virginia storyline is so good, but I haven't expected Texas Tech to win anything, and they keep winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I didn't watch any of these games, and maybe the gods want Virginia to lose now because of the double dribble non-call.
Could be.
All right. Jordan has put in his answer, and
Jakey about to make a big.
Ooh.
Jakey.
We're disagreeing. Team okay. Jordan and Jimmy. Jomboy.
One of us will start the week well.
Jomboy and Jordan Radio says that Tech is going to beat Virginia.
All right.
All right. That ends the show today. Thank you all for listening. I always like telling you guys this. I don't know if it annoys people or comes off as lame, but we had a really good week. Yes, last week with the downloads. I think we had our second most downloaded episode ever. I have no idea what patterns cause that. with this show since we are Monday through Friday every day. But if you were out there and you told one of your buddies to start listening and they did, and then you helped that happen, we thank you. And we will be back tomorrow. It is Feelings Week, so Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling is going to take us out. See you guys.